Meet Klaus, the sales director for a leading German manufacturing company. Klaus has been with the company for over a decade, and his expertise in sales and negotiation has been instrumental in driving the company's growth. His team is known for precision and efficiency, hallmarks of German business culture. They pride themselves on their meticulous attention to detail and their ability to deliver high-quality products on time. This reputation has earned them clients from all over the world. Today, they're hosting a negotiation meeting with an important South Korean client, a major player in the tech industry, known for their innovative solutions and cutting-edge technology. This meeting is crucial for both parties, as it could lead to a long-term partnership that would benefit both companies. But what seemed like a straightforward meeting quickly turned into a challenging exchange. The room, initially filled with optimism, soon became tense as misunderstandings began to surface. In Klaus's experience, silence often meant that the other party was in agreement, or at least considering the proposal. However, this assumption proved to be a significant misstep. In German business culture, a direct, no-nonsense approach is appreciated. Clear communication and straightforwardness are valued, and silence is rarely seen as a negative response. However, in South Korea, a high-context culture, silence can indicate discomfort or disagreement. The South Korean team, led by Mr. Park, was taken aback by Klaus's direct approach. They felt that their concerns were not being acknowledged, leading to a sense of unease. What went wrong? The answer lies in the cultural differences between the two teams. Klaus missed several cultural cues. He failed to recognize the subtle signs of discomfort from the South Korean team. Realizing the need for a different approach, Klaus decided to educate himself on South Korean business culture. Klaus learned that in South Korean culture, hierarchy and harmony are highly valued. Respect for seniority and maintaining harmonious relationships are crucial aspects of their business interactions. Direct refusals are avoided, and decisions often involve consultation within the group. This means that a decision is rarely made on the spot. Instead, it requires internal discussions and consensus. He also discovered the importance of building rapport through formal introductions and shared respect. Establishing a personal connection and showing genuine interest in the other party's well-being are essential steps in building trust. By adapting this communication style, Klaus gained the trust of the South Korean company and secured a deal that benefited both parties. Here are the actions you can take. First, understand cultural differences. It's crucial to recognize and respect the cultural norms of your clients. Then research the client's business etiquette and communication style before engaging. In high-context cultures, direct criticism can be seen as rude or confrontational. Avoid blunt refusals or demands. Instead, ask open-ended questions to uncover concerns. This approach allows for a more respectful and constructive dialogue. Build relationships first. Establishing a strong personal connection can be just as important as the business deal itself. Invest time in small talk and formal introductions to establish trust. Read between the lines. Nonverbal communication plays a significant role in high-context cultures. Pay attention to nonverbal cues like silence or body language, especially in high-context cultures. Adapt your approach based on the cultural and business context to find common ground. Flexibility can help bridge gaps and foster mutual understanding. Embracing cultural diversity can lead to innovative solutions and stronger business relationships. Are you ready to master multilingual communication? Understanding and respecting cultural differences is the first step towards becoming a global business leader.